What's for breakfast this morning? We've got 2 fried eggs, 2 quarter-pound beef burgers, 2 hash browns, some bread and butter. How are you, my lovelies? Well, I've just had breakfast. You'll have seen the clip of that. I've just had breakfast and yeah, what's going on today? Well, we've got a little topic on the go today. What's going to be going on in the video is what's it really like to live full-time in a motorhome. I mean, there's good and bad, as you can imagine. Mate, this ground is wet up here today. Come a bit closer, come a bit closer. It's as muddy as arseholes out here. So that's what's on the agenda today. We're going to have a scoot into exactly what it's like to live in a motorhome full time. We'll go through all the seasons because we can. It's not all good and it's not all bad, but it has its moments. It's not for everybody, but let's get a cup of tea and come and have a sit down. Let's go and do it inside in the warm. Come on, hurry up, don't mess about. Come on, don't stand there half cut. Come on in, let's have a cup of tea. Come on in, mucker, let's have a cup of tea. I've got my tea on the go. Have a seat, have a seat. Get yourself comfortable. Let's have a sit and a chat. Okay, me lovelies, let me get comfy. Let's get all comfy cosy, shall we? Hey up, hey up. Right, I've even got my book here. Oh really? A book, you say? I've got some notes. And one of them says, I can't see that lasting for long, but it's not a rant, so that's a good thing, isn't it? We're going to have a chat about what it's like to live in a motorhome or a camper van. You're all in a tin box, whether it's a motorhome, a camper, a self-build, whatever. It's one above a tent. That's all you got to look at. We're going to start with winter because we're in winter. Well, we're nearly three quarters of the way through it, aren't we? 3 months in each season. 2 months in, come on. Don't take a lot of working out. Winter. You have to be aware of where your water tanks are for a start. You know, your pipe's going to freeze. Are they lagged? You know, you've got to make sure you know this. I've done it before. There's a video back in the playlist of me pipes under the sink freezing. Not the main tank because that's indoors, as it is on this motorhome. It's under the seats. So it's not the tank that's freezing, it's the pipes that go up to your sink. But if you've got an underslung tank and it's not insulated, it's another thing you've got to look at. Good blackout blinds. Thermal blackout blinds to keep the heat in. You're losing most of your heat and your condensation is caused on the glass windows. Not on any of your plastics, it's on the glass windows. And this being an A-class, that's a 7-foot 3-inch bleeding windscreen length. That's a big old bit of glass. That comes into play in the summer. In the winter, it's a big condensation trap. But it keeps, you know where it is, it keeps it out. It keeps it out the rest of the van, the furniture. And mine have got a drainage around the dashboard where it drains away itself. or you can wipe it out, whatever you want to do. There's a drainage hole there. Blackout and thermal blinds to keep warm. The floor, get some of them padded matchings, you know, the garage matchings, the ones that I use. There's videos out there telling you what's on this floor, and they're lovely for in the winter. You can take them out in the summer. In the winter, you're going to need them in. It's dark early in the winters. From like 3 o'clock, you're blacking out until 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. It's dark. They're very long days and very long, very short days and very long nights. So from 3 o'clock, you're blacked out, you're in, and you're locked away most of the winter. That's how it goes. That's what van life is, unless you want to stand out there with a bonfire, freezing your cobs off. I mean, that's all right some nights on a weekend or whatever you want to do, but 90% of it, you'll be shut in here from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 o'clock the next morning. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? There are pros and cons to this being in winter. In the winter, I can park at a local park, say Abington Park, and I know after 3 o'clock there ain't no kids in the park. It's too bleeding cold, it's dark, and they've all gone home. So you can open some of your park ups up. There's no kids playing in the park. Now in the summer, our little buggers are out until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, tapping on your windows or whatever, messing about. So there is good and bad, but we're still in winter. Entertain yourself. That's all I can suggest. I mean, when it's cold outside, it can be as cold in here as what it is outside. I've had the front windscreen ice up with condensation that's turned into ice on all my glass windows. I won't sleep with the heating on overnight. I couldn't do it. It's too hot in here for me. If I had a smaller heater, it'd be an option. But I like a cold bedroom anyway. I always have liked a cold bedroom. So, yeah, the temperature drops in these within an hour or so. You know, you're not far off from being outside temperatures. You may be up after a few hours. You may be up 5 degrees higher than what it is outside, if you're lucky. If you're lucky, depending on your insulation. With a motorhome with windows like this, it drops quickly. Now, let's move on to the spring, because I've got it on a note in here. Spring, it says. Spring's beautiful. You start getting them earlier mornings and later evenings. It's beautiful. Birds are coming out. But with spring comes water and wet and rain. And don't forget, we've had snow before in April and May. So depending on the weather, I know it all begins to look better. It lifts your spirits. In spring, it lifts your spirits. But the same as, you know, if you get a mild spring, you're lucky. And in the spring sunshine, these windows work the opposite way round. They let the heat in. It heats up like a greenhouse in here, you know, from the spring onwards, late spring, middle spring. So it's like a greenhouse effect then in here. So you have to have your heating on less. The temperatures can get higher. It's lovely, just with that little bit of sunlight. The downsides is the wet, as per usual. In and out your van in them weathers in the spring. It can be a nightmare, depending what weather we have. I mean, it could be torrential rain or it could be bleeding snow. You know, we've had it before. but things are turning greener, and it lifts your spirits. You're getting an extra hour or two a day in daylight. You're seeing the sun more frequent. It's a beautiful time of the year. Absolutely stunning. So there's not much problem. After coming out of winter into spring is a bit of relief. And then you'd think going into summer. Summer can be an absolute nightmare. When that sun gets up at 4 or 5 in the morning, if you've not thermaled, you'll be cooked alive in your bed. It's like someone turning the oven on as soon as that sun comes up. So you've got to make sure it's thermal, blackout, and thermal. The heat still gets through, obviously. But at this time, the solar panels are now kicking in full whack, and I don't need them. I'm no longer using my diesel heater. I've got a compressor fridge that runs on wind, fresh air, almost. So now I have more power than I need and that I can cope with. You're not using induction hobs, you're not using air fryers, you're not using microwaves that I don't use anyway. That's the time to use them, in the summer when you don't need them. So in the summer can be quite, your food is going to go off quicker. Now I've had a 3-way fridge. Well, we'll go into this one first. A 3-way fridge, gas, electric hookup, and when you're driving. They're okay on electric hookup. They're no good when you're driving. And the amount of gas they use is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, in my first van, the gas didn't work on mine. So all I used to use it was storage, because that's all it was good for, you know, putting your vegetables in and that sort of thing. In this van, I had a 3-way fridge. In my old van, I could use the oven and the cooker every day, making teas, doing that sort of thing. I can get 3 to 4 months out of 113 kilo bottle of gas. Bring a fridge into the equation, you'll be lucky to get 4 to 6 weeks. That's the amount of gas that's using. They're ridiculous. A compressor fridge is the way to go, trust me. I know they're a lot of money, but they're coming down in prices. 350, 400 quid for a 65 litre. I think you can get a 90 litre for the same sort of price, 350. I mean, there's no comparison. And even in the winter, on days like this, I'm getting solar. The little bit of solar I'm getting is running that fridge. That's in autumn, that's in winter. So it's great having all the solar system and the batteries, but in the winter when you're running out, you've got no sun, you've got to do more mileage. Then you've got a diesel heater on all the time. In autumn, sorry, see, I'm getting confused now. In spring, you're using your diesel heater less. It's not on for as many hours of the day or the evening. Summer, you're not using it, like I say. But you do need to black out those windows on a summer's day, because the heat is tremendous first thing in the morning if you open. So you're looking for woodland to park in, anywhere in shade, and you can block it out so you can get maybe a lane till 7 or 8 o'clock, because that's how bad it can get. The heat, when it gets up to 28, 29, 30s, you're in a microwave. If you ain't got park-ups where you can sleep with your windows open, the good thing is you have now got battery power so you can run fans. But as you know, a fan in here, it turns it into a tumble dryer. It's just blowing hot air. You need to be able to open your windows and sleep with them open if possible. Most of your park ups, you're not going to be able to do that. It's not feasible. You know, so you've got to find spots where not so many dog walkers or there's less people, that you know your windows open at night, more secluded places, tucked away, just to get a decent night's sleep and be able to breathe properly. I mean, here I'm okay. I can leave my stable door open at night because there's nobody comes in the car park this end, and I'm sleeping in it. You know, it doesn't bother me. Um, but yeah, if you're stuck on the side of a street stealth camping, I know nowadays they've got max air fans, and you believe me, you're going to need them. But that's the self builds that have got that, and that's, I suppose that's how they can survive through the summer and the heat. My motorhome don't have any roof fans, but I've got blowout fans. You know what I mean? I've got portable fans that I can bang in and keep it going. I've got all the windows I can open. So summer can be testing, to say the least. In the winter, if you're cold, you can wrap up a bit more. When you're down to your budgie smugglers in the summer, there ain't nothing else to take off. You can shave your head, it don't make no difference. Trust me, I've tried it, done it for years. It works actually, and I reckon you all should shave your fucking heads. And you get a bit more solar panel, you get more vitamin D with a shaved head. I'm going off course. Sorry. That's part of your summer. Then the autumn. Well, it's beautiful. It starts cooling down, the leaves on the trees cool, but it's not long before the frost and the wet starts. And we continue on the same loop. Sun's getting lower in the sky. Solar becomes harder to get. The more mileage you got to put in to be able to use your diesel heaters and your fridges and whatever you're using. So my suggestion is keep it to a minimum. Keep it simple. That's all you got to do. Get rid of the gas and go compressor fridge is the only way to go. I would say is a compressor fridge. Other than that, what do you really need? Heating. Diesel heater, which I'm lucky, I've got a Truma central heating, blow central heating, and I've got a diesel heater. I don't know anybody who wouldn't recommend a diesel heater, but when purchasing it, be aware of the size of your van, because it'll cook you. It'll bleed and cook you. They're efficient, they work extremely well, and the lower the wattage, you know, if you get a 2 kilowatt diesel heater or 5 or an 8, 8's drawing more power, burning more fuel, heating a bigger place. Your little 2 kilowatt one, your Transits, your Sprinters, that sort of size, would be lovely with those because they're insulated better, and a lot of them haven't got the windows in. There are so many windows in as what a motorhome's got, and they definitely ain't got a 7-foot dash windscreen. So it swings and roundabouts really. On winter days, you get days where you can get in and out, and you know, the odd day when it's not raining, you get quite a few days that are not raining. It doesn't rain every day. Even when it is raining, it stops within an hour. You can get out. You can always get out. You're never really penned in. But there are those days that can tag on where you are. And the same in the summer. If you're parked out in a field, it's 40 degrees out there, you're laying under the bleeding van, aren't you? I mean, you're not going out for wander, are you? So horses for courses. Different times of year bring different problems. Forewarned is forearmed, and I hope this little video helps a lot of you out. It's just basic common sense, really. but you don't know if you've never done it. If you've never lived in it, you don't know. The winter and autumn and that are darker months. You're going to be penned in there more. Summer, you'll be out until 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. You have trouble trying to catch up with your YouTube buddies and all that, because it's so beautiful. But it's not like it all year round. Horses for courses, the same again. Anyway, my lovelies, I hope you find this a little bit interesting. And if it's helped you out, please drop it in the comments. If there's anything I've missed, drop it in the comments. And I invite my friends, you know, Chalky, Craig, Eric, whoever, all my YouTube friends. I encourage you to do the same sort of video. What's it like for you, and how would you warn people? Well, not warn them, but let them know what it's like to live in the van full time, for all seasons. It's a good topic. I hope it's helped you out. Look into what you're doing. I love you to bits. I want to thank all my new subscribers. And if you could give this video a share, that'll really help me boost the channel. There's going to be some lives coming up, so make sure the bell's ticked and you'll be notified when I put them up. Because sometimes I don't give out warnings when I'm going to do them. I just get bored and go, right, let's do one. Anyway, my lovelies, I'll leave this one here. Love you to bits, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da for now.